In this video, we're just going to run through a quick introduction to accruals. Let's start with a quick definition. So, what are accruals? Well, they're basically adjustments for expenses that have been incurred but that you haven't yet entered into your accounts. So for instance, these are normally expenses that are based on usage, such as things like telephone bills and utility bills. So you would enter the expense at the end of the period when you're billed for that. However, the expense relates to prior periods as well. So for instance, with a telephone bill, you might be billed quarterly. So that covers 3 individual months, but you only receive one bill. Let's run through a quick example. So let's use the telephone bill as an example. So we're going to pay that at the end of the quarter. You estimate that the bill is going to be £300. It is based on usage after all, so we're not quite sure. So the best estimate will give you the best results. So we're estimating it's going to be £300 at the end of the quarter, so £100 a month. However, when we receive the bill, it's going to be for £310. Now, if we don't post any accrual, and all we do is enter the expense when we receive that, so we receive the invoice, we enter that into our accounts, and what we'd see is we'd see that full expense being associated with month 3. However, what we're wanting to do is to show some of the expense that relates to month 1 and month 2. But if we do nothing, we just see all of that expense in that final period. If we post accruals, what we can do is establish the relevant expense for month 1, month 2, and also month 3. Now you will notice that month 3 has a slightly different value. So what we've done is we've estimated £100 per month. Because we're billed for a slightly different amount, what we're going to do is we're going to show that adjustment, now that could be slightly higher or slightly lower, in that final period. So the more accurate your estimate, the better. When it comes to posting accruals in Sage Accounts, there are 3 steps. Step 1 is to post monthly adjustments for the accruals. Step 2 is to reverse the full accrual at the end of the accrual period. And step 3 is to record the actual transaction. That's something not to forget about. Some people do forget about that step. So you need to enter the actual transaction. So in this case, we're going to say enter the invoice at the end of the period. Now these steps are explained in further detail in other videos.